I'll be recommending you my top 5 anime for quarantine. Majority of the shows I'll be recommending are very fast-paced type of shows, so they usually last like 12-13 episodes. They're from varying types of genres, so they're not all the same genre. Essentially the same thing is said across all of these, that they are very fast-paced and they get you interested usually from episode 1. The first one on this list is Astro Lost in Space.
ダメ、スラスターが動かない。誰もいない。怖い。
Astro Lost in Space is about a group of high schoolers that basically get lost in space and have to find their way back home. Throughout their journey, there's a lot of plot twists and a lot of things they discover about themselves, about each other, getting to know each other, that drives the plot and really reveals a lot about each character and gives different insights on their upbringing, as well as leads to many plot twists about who you thought you knew and who you actually really don't know. I really enjoyed it, even though it was relatively short at 12 episodes, but it quickly got up to the pace and it kept me entertained really throughout the majority of the show. Next one that I have on this list is Sankyo no Terror.
突然ですが、明日の天気予報です。東京は午後3時過ぎから闇に包まれ、新宿方面ではところによりでっかい火花が上がるでしょう。お出かけの際はくれ。
Sankyo no Terror is essentially about an anti-terrorist group that is threatening the government. It's just pretty cool to see someone fighting against the government by using terrorism as a means of getting their attention. I really like how this show has a lot of type of logical thinking. Even though we might not be the ones doing the logical thinking, there is a lot of brain teasers that are shown throughout the show. The animation is very solid. It really fits the show in that it isn't too cartoony and it's just the right amount of realisticness to where you can still take it seriously. It covers a lot of darker type of themes, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's also another anime that really gets you hooked from the very start, so I definitely recommend this one as well.
貸しといてあげる。一人で隠れてるの寂しいだろうから。
これ。
約束して。いいって言うまで。
Next up, I have Death Fairy.
あなた、これ。
なんだこれは。まさか死体。私から申し上げられるのは、命をかけてゲームをしていただき。
Death Parade is actually a show that I had watched about a few years back. Death Parade is basically about people that end up at a bar and have to play a game for their lives. Throughout this game, their different types of traits are shown, whether it's an instinct for survival or anything, and they are being judged throughout the process of this game. I really recommend this anime if you're into deep psychological type of shows. It definitely is one that stuck with me for a while and that I've watched over a few times because the types of struggles that the people go through in each episode, a lot of them end up feeling realistic. Even though every situation is presented in an episodic type of way, it just hits pretty deep. It's pretty brutal at times, and I just really enjoyed the different types of perspectives they put on death throughout each different character. It's only about 12 episodes, I believe. It's a really good show if you want something quick that is episodic. You feel like you don't have to keep watching the next episode for the plot. Most of the episodes in the show are basically a story each episode, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend. Next is Made in Abyss.
口なはなんでこんな浅いとこに。なんとやだ、あれ血。
Made in Abyss is actually a very popular anime. I think it was declared best anime of 2017. Made in Abyss is basically about exploring the last part of the earth that has yet to be touched by humanity, which is an abyss. Within the Abyss, there's many technologies and relics that have yet to be discovered by humanity. Humanity is essentially exploring it to get a better understanding of the world that they live in. When you see the characters, you would think this is a very lighthearted kiddie show, but it's actually a very dark, despair-inducing show. There's a lot of reality that plays out throughout the show. Like, you'll see like essentially kids being trained to kill and eat animals as if the death of an animal doesn't really affect them, which is actually pretty realistic in this type of environment. It's just very interesting. As they go through the Abyss, there's a lot of different things that they discover. Essentially, each layer of going into the Abyss has different effects on the body, and yeah, those are something that is explored a lot through the plot. And yeah, I definitely recommend this if you like kind of survival type of shows. It's definitely one that gets really good straight off the bat, and I think the next season's coming out soon, so right now is basically the perfect time to watch it.
この穴ん？レグ、アビスのことまで忘れちゃったの？アビス？この大穴がアビス。君はこのアビスの縁で見つかった。
Next, oh, I have The Promised Neverland.
わかんねえ。エマは？キリンになりたい。ガンバ。これ一体何から僕らを守ってるんだ。
I don't know if anyone has recommended this to y'all already, but Promised Neverland, I feel, is a show that is really good for a lot of first-timers. It basically follows kids in an orphanage that are basically trying to escape because there's a secret about the outside world that they discovered that basically gave them no other option but to escape the orphanage. What that secret is, I'll never tell. JK, but you should watch it and find out what the plot is essentially about. I know this was one that was very popular recently and a lot of people enjoy it. It's relatively short at the moment at about 12 episodes. Honestly, during this show, you usually think you know what is going to happen, but then the exact opposite or something else ends up happening that you had completely not predicted at all. I definitely recommend this if you're looking for something quick to watch that will just keep you guessing at every turn and that'll keep you at the edge of your seat at the end of every single episode. This anime is really good for people that are very into psychological suspense type of shows, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. 10 out of 10.
大丈夫。きっと逃げられる。エマとレイと僕3人なら。
無理なのかな。置いていけない。ここに残せば確実に殺される。これ以上。
Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in another video if I decide to make another one. This is low-key my first one. I was pretty nervous, but I hope y'all got something out of it. So see y'all.